Welcome in, along with Bruce Gradkowski. I'm Steve Palazzolo. Today discussing Kyler Murray. It's his full draft profile. We'll go through all of his strengths and weaknesses. Let's start, Bruce, with Kyler being the #1 quarterback on the PFF draft board and the #1 player. We think he has next level potential to be a top 8 to 10 quarterback. What have you seen from Murray on film that you like or don't like?
Well, should I get a phone book first to sit up to get on your level?
Yeah, why don't you get to my level? I'll move back a little bit. Is that better?
You look like the NFL quarterback, but you know, Kyler Murray to me, man, the dude is smooth, right? Yep. I mean, just a fluid motion. It's consistent. And he's a passer. I mean, the guy is accurate. You watch him throw the football. It's not like he misses easy throws, in my opinion. And just with his athletic ability on top of that, a guy that can make explosive plays with his legs and throw outside of the pocket, I mean, I just feel like he brings everything you would want in a quarterback.
So that's what I like that we started with, was that you mentioned his passing and his accuracy and his ability to win from the pocket. We still know that's the most important thing in the NFL, right? And he was our highest graded passer last year. He was comparable to Baker Mayfield, who we touted as by far the #1 prospect last year at quarterback. I think this year he's not as clean as Baker as a passer, but it does look like Kyler is above the Dwayne Haskins, the Drew Locks, the Daniel Jones of the world. Is that what you've seen as well?
Absolutely, because I feel like watching Kyler too, he wants to deliver from inside the pocket. I mean, he's not a quarterback that's athletic looking to just run all the time.
Right.
I mean, he sets up in the pocket and he delivers, he goes through his progressions and reads. I feel like he knows how to manipulate a defense with his eyes. So to have those intangibles also as well, that he can make plays athletically and get outside. I mean, that's why to me he's almost a for sure bet. And when you're comparing him to a Haskins or Jones or Locke and the other guys, because I just feel like his throw motion, his accuracy, he can deliver within that pocket.
One of the things I noticed about Kyler, and I know this is supposed to be a no-no for you guys, right? Like dropping your eyes inside the pocket, but I feel like Kyler makes it work for him. He'll drop his eyes in the pocket to kind of maneuver the pocket, to find open space, to either to navigate or to get outside the pocket, but then he's looking to pass again. So it's not drop your eyes to run, it's drop your eyes to find a passing lane, so to speak.
Well, and it's kind of like the things you see Big Ben doing, right? If Ben scrambles outside the pocket, he always peeks behind him to see if someone's chasing him.
Right.
Well, that's kind of like just a poise a player has. Not everyone can do it. So I was always a feel guy. I had to hitch up in the pocket because I felt something. I couldn't look down because I feel like it would throw me off. And with Kyler, I feel like he has that poise that he can look around and get his eyes back up. And that's where Big Ben does. You know, Ben can look around at the rush, so he knows how much more time he has to deliver. And that's a special talent that you can't coach. You can't coach someone to look at the rush and then look back up at the passing. A lot of times you're yelling at guys, don't look at the rush. You got to deliver downfield.
That's why I think he's a special talent in that sense. And there was a lot of times you would see 300-pound defensive linemen essentially trying to, tackle a scat back there. It's dynamic athleticism that Murray adds to the table there. So the fact that he could throw from the pocket, then has the athleticism to run. But we haven't even discussed his size yet. The fact that he's coming in at 5'9", 5'10", everyone else has started talking about that. How much of that truly is a factor at the NFL level?
I mean, I think you have to look at it. I mean, we're crazy not to, because just of the rest of the players on an NFL field. I mean, look at the defensive fronts, these defensive guys coming out in the draft. These are big dudes that I don't want to land on my shoulder. And for Murray being a smaller quarterback, you have to look at his durability and being that athletic. I mean, Russell Wilson, you don't see him taking a lot of hits downfield because he's smart, he's athletic enough to know how to slide and when to slide. And I feel like Murray can do that, but he has to make it a point to be smart and not take any unnecessary hits. But if you get sacked within that pocket and you have a big defensive tackle, 300 pounds land on your throwing shoulder, those hits are going to be hard to sustain, and I want to see how long he can handle that.
Yeah, I've always said that maybe size is kind of a factor, but playing style is as much of a factor as far as staying healthy, right? The idea that Russell Wilson, like you said, knew how to or still knows how to avoid hits, whereas Michael Vick, maybe not so much, Robert Griffin, maybe not so much. Let's sum it up with this. Last year at this time, we said Lamar Jackson, there's an offense to be built around him because of his running ability, but he's got some work to do as a passer. You could build a running game around Kyler Murray's athleticism, but oh, by the way, he could also just sit in the pocket and pick you apart as well. So I think that's what makes him so dangerous and makes him the number one prospect here. Is that fair to say when you're looking at Kyler and that all-around ability?
I absolutely agree, because not only defense coordinators, they're going to go insane trying to game plan against this guy, because he's a guy that can deliver from the pocket. He's athletic enough to make out plays outside the pocket. So if you're a defensive coordinator, you're not sleeping very well if you're going to face Kyler Murray, because of the point you made of being that accurate thrower downfield. And we see it. Lamar Jackson, he's a special talent as far as using his legs and maybe getting enough done with his arm, but he's not that pure passer on a 3rd down and 8. You're going to trust to drop back, read a defense, and make a play. And I feel like Kyler brings that.
One of the notes I added here that for Kyler, as a positive, defensive coordinators need to make a decision. Do they want to rush him? Do they want to contain on him? I think just putting defenses in a bind is going to be a big key to Kyler's success. There's one other number that we found in the PFF database that I think is very telling as our guys dove into the most important passes beyond the sticks, throwing accurate passes to move the chains. The top 3 guys over the last few years as we've charted this, it's Baker Mayfield, then Kyler Murray, then Patrick Mahomes. So the 2 guys that he's with have done a pretty good job of translating at the next level so far.
Some pretty good company. You know, he's in some pretty good company. And that's why I don't see how you can pass up a guy like this. If you have the availability to get a guy like Kyler Murray to be your franchise quarterback, he's a guy that makes your whole team better the minute he walks in that building.
So there you have it. It's our Kyler Murray NFL Draft Profile, all powered by PFF Edge and Elite.